I should call in a few people in, and I can hear we're having fun. In no particular order, we'll see about that later. We have David Crazy Benjamin, aka DCB from IMI Mobile. Is he here? I can hear it. We have, well done, Catherine McGuire from BT, who she just disappeared for a second, but she's coming back. Thanks, Catherine. And we have Uku Tomikas from Ascente. Hey, here we go. And then Carlos Villanueva from Enabled. Carlos, there you are. 4 players, and you all know the rules. As you probably know, James Williams is the owner of this format, and it's already been sold in 5 different countries. We don't know which one. But the jury is a bit of tongue-in-cheek and fun towards the end of the day, where we grill our speakers and provide you some factual entertainment, as I like to call it. Now, we could have used Wheel of Fortune, but we thought it much better to ask them to speak for 2 minutes exactly. And you might have noticed, this is a highly competitive sport. Yeah, they've all planned again, and some of them have spent hours, not pointing names, on practicing those 2 minutes exactly to a point. Now, I think you might have, coming up, I got a few things to bring up. It's like, you might have noticed yesterday that we are sparing no budget. We have fantastic biscuits. Sorry, Carlos. These are the Fortnum & Mason biscuit. Look at this one. I'm sure you could feed my family for about 2 weeks with the price of this. Empty all of that in a box. Okay, done it. Yes, I don't have a future on quiz shows, but it is here. A bit of placement. Okay, good. How are you all doing? Oh, we're talking to you now. Very well. So I should officially start the panel quiz show now that I've done introduction. Yeah, you ready? Okay. Everybody, welcome to the jury. Brought to you by Intis Telecom. Thanks to Intis Telecom to stay and play along to the game. Now, today, we're going to elect one of the winners thanks to a popular vote. You can't vote by SMS. Strange. But you can use a social platform to choose your winner, or here, if you are in the public, you can also raise your hand. We're going to have 3 questions that have been prepared before, and we're going to select each time the speaker. Oh, by the way, I need to present myself also with the timer to make sure that I give you all 2 minutes exactly. Yeah, I think James is thinking this guy has never done it before. Yeah, that's fine. I'm practicing here as we go. I think I'm ready. You are? Yeah. Well, you should do a microphone test first. How do I know? This is very important. You got 10 seconds to say your name and your favorite color. This is not going to work. They're a bit slow, but they're going to get into the game. But, give them a bit. Again, who starts? Go, quick. From Catherine.
Do you want me to say my name?
No, now we're going to change it. Something quick.
Okay.
That's too difficult. Now, introduce yourself as a favorite superhero.
Somebody can go first.
I'll go first. I mean, it's an easy question. It has to be Batman. And
Hello, Batman. There we go.
Yeah.
And next microphone.
Oh, it's already an argument because it's definitely Spider-Man.
For me, I'm Carlos. I'm Superman because I'm a superhero, of course.
And Catherine, what would you like to be? There are quite a few female superheroes now to choose from. Once upon a time.
I forget her name. the one, the last Marvel film. Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm a huge superhero fan.
So obviously,
Captain Marvel.
You can see the comic nerd from that
One of
side.
the Avengers.
Okay, you're ready to go, and then I'm going to read the first name. But actually, before that, I should remind you of the first question. So here we go. The first question to be judged today by the jury is being able to offer a truly omnichannel customer experience a realistic proposition for all organizations? Oh. Are you ready for that? So, here we go. And the first person to answer this question for 2 minutes will be David, DCB. You ready? So wait a
Do you
second
want
for
someone
me.
to start a timer for me then?
I will give you a
Let's see how long I
timer
can wait for
by
30
making some
seconds.
strange noises, like now.
Right now? No. Soon? Yes. There you go. Is that less than 2 minutes? Realistically, small to medium businesses have been doing omnichannel for a while. The difference for them is they have so much manual work to do. You think of the number of people that run stores on Etsy, the people that run the eBay businesses, the way that they have to communicate with the people that they need to talk to online. They've exploded over the last 2 years, even looking at the growth rates before that. They've now gone so much further. Can they all talk by text message? Yeah, probably a lot of them take advantage of it. But they use the platform to communicate. So they're managing Instagram accounts, they're managing Facebook, they're managing WhatsApp, but they're managing it all individually. And that's not a true omnichannel experience. So it's being able to provide the right solution with that brain in the middle, so that no matter how they reach out, wherever their customer is, because it's all about being where their customers are and being able to respond in a timely manner. Customer experience is not difficult. You need to be able to give them the answer they want, how they want, when they want. That's what it boils down to. So we as an industry, we as providers are starting to put solutions out into the world that do that. And we're starting to pull in the channels that we find favourable. We're starting to pull in the channels that customers are demanding. And depending on where you sit in the ecosystem, you'll have different priorities over which one goes where. But realistically, and someone said to me earlier on today, if I had a small business, how would I know how to turn on all those channels? How would I know about them? How would I even begin to figure out where to get them turned on? I don't know. There isn't anywhere yet. And that's part of the job of us as an industry, us as progressive, us as people wanting to drive this omnichannel experience that we know is perfect for clients. We need to produce those solutions in collaboration with our customers, in collaboration with brands, and to make it a realistic possibility for everyone and simplify their lives and move away from manual. 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
That's the end of your 2 Well done. Wait.
2 minutes.
God, that felt a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
Okay. Well, Here we go. The competition starts to heating up. And Catherine, you are next. And wait. 3, 2, 1, start.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to put some filler in because that seemed like a very long 2 minutes to me. But my answer to the question is is both yes and no as well. And I've sort of taken it from a messaging perspective because obviously that's what I know. And I think David, from IMI's perspective, is looking at things from a much wider perspective. But I think from a messaging perspective, of course, there's going to be an omni-channel approach in the UK. You can even see that we've really been relying on SMS, but you can see that other players are coming into the market. Even the other day, I was doing some browsing on the Zara website and I noticed that they had a customer support for WhatsApp, and that's a P2P experience where you can get WhatsApp straight into your inbox. And I think that's obviously going to be things that'll move over to WhatsApp for business. Things like retail we'll probably see a truly omni-channel approach there. We've heard today from different speakers who've spoken about the success of an omni-channel approach in markets like LATAM, and I can imagine that the UK will start to emulate this, but I think there is still a place for carrier-grade messaging with the likes of RCS, because things like financial services and healthcare will not want to rely on OTT players. They don't have the support or identity that they will need to provide really, really secure messaging for things that customers need to receive and need to be sure they receive, and they don't want outages. So I think for things like, there's also a lot of customers in the UK are very, very mindful of their personal data and privacy, and I think that although they will want to use WhatsApp for things that don't matter to them, like speaking to Zara, they won't want to do it for things like speaking to their bank, and that is when RBM will come in and carrier-grade messaging will remain really relevant across every vertical. So I think for omni-channel and messaging, yes, there will be omni-channel in the UK market, but it will not go across all organisations. So to that part of the question, the answer is no. And where are we in the time?
Done? Perfect. You are allowed to finish earlier if you want. You don't have to use your full 2 minutes. But well done for doing it in brilliant timing. So next, it's Uku. And wait. 3, 2, 1, start.
Yeah, so my answer is no as well, and I want to take a look at this from a smaller aggregator's perspective. The smaller aggregators are usually the ones who have those more personal, more hands-on relationships with the smaller enterprise clients. They're the ones who are actually local and close to your local auto garage who might be using those P2P services right now or using them in the P2P form that we talked about. And the problem from smaller players' perspective is that it's very hard to get direct access into WhatsApp. It's very hard to get direct access into OTT platforms. What this means is that we also lack the direct knowledge. We lack the direct knowledge to actually help those companies, fully utilize those things. We are not aware of the nuances. We're not aware of the ways that we can help them maximize the impact that they can get from omnichannel solutions. And the problem is that the bigger ones, the bigger companies, don't have the manpower to have those very personal, very close relationships with very small companies. It's hard for the biggest players to go to a local auto garage and tell Bill how he's, supposed to use RCS for his future messaging. It's very difficult to do that. So this creates a gap. The bigger ones don't have the manpower to get very, very close and very sort of granular and close to those small sort of businesses to be able to educate and teach them. And the ones who are close to them don't have the direct access to the knowledge to be able to teach them in the best possible way. So this creates a gap. And unless we're actually able to properly bridge this gap, unless we're actually able to properly get past this sort of idea of two different silos, it's very difficult to help smaller businesses fully utilize the potential of omnichannel. Very hard for them to utilize or even see the value of it, right? You need to teach them at a very small grassroots level how to use these services. Unless you have the knowledge yourselves, unless the smaller ones have the knowledge, it's going to be very hard to do that.
And that's it? Magic. That's your end. Well done. And as James would do, we'll still have to do still checking. But this is a serious thing. People are really serious. We are really competing with each other.
Maybe someone else.
Well, Carlos, it is Carlos Villanueva.
All right. Okay.
And wait, it's 3, 2, 1, you go.
Okay, great. To answer this question, I would like to speak about two major things. One is scalability, and the second one is digital transformation. So for me, these two words are let's say, the key takeaways of these 2 minutes. Why? The simple answer is no. It's not realistic for all organizations at this moment to offer omnichannel. And we have to look at it in two ways. One is businesses. When I say businesses, it could be startups, SMBs, mid-size or enterprises, probably enterprises less. But digital transformation is a huge problem for them. And this is partly the issue here of not being able to offer a realistic proposition on omnichannel. If they would like to move into a full omnichannel environment, basically they need to go through this transformation. This transformation requires them to adopt, first of all, a cloud-based model. What does it mean? Well, I mean, imagine some startups, SMBs, wondering, okay, how do I do that? How do I eat that, right? The other one is they might have different customer touch points. Probably many of them, they don't know how to streamline those touch points, how to make them more digital, how to embed more self-service or automation tools. It's quite huge. It's a digital transformation journey that many of them might not be ready to do it. And I like to speak about education and skills because I heard it in the last panel. I believe in that. I believe digital education, digital skills are needed there for businesses to, let's say, offer to the customers a full omnichannel experience. But if we look at the other side of the equation, I talk about scalability. When I say scalability,
that's all. Look at this. Well done. Well done to try to squeeze in the last. Every single penny counts here. But no, doesn't matter because now it's time for voting. So whether you're online, you have 60 seconds to press those buttons. Yes, you need to help us in understanding which one of these 4 theses is better. And in case you love someone, come on, that could be the right thing. Press the button. Have they done something bad to you? DCB, did you keep, price too high for somebody? Yeah, go and press it against him. Did Probably Catherine say something against you. Yeah. Well, time to press it again. That's really political.
I voted no.
Did you ever seen? We'll do it now. Did you ever see Eurovision Song Contest? This is it. It's political. It's not just about what you think about it. So here in the in our auditorium, please raise your hand if you think that Catherine on my right was your preferred answer. Raise your hand now. There we go. I hope you're writing it down, Catherine. Those are your friends.
Friends
Now,
and colleagues are not allowed.
let's move to put your hands down.
Friends and colleagues should not be allowed.
Friends and colleagues are different. Well, you know, everything is allowed here, Rocha. Raise your hands for Uku. There we go. Oh, I think there was an undecided. I couldn't see somebody. Yes, okay, fine. Now, hands down, because now time for David. Who would like to vote for David?
Oh, thank God, there's at least one.
Oh, okay. Oh, and we do have and time's almost running up. Time's for Carlos. Now vote for Carlos in here. There we go.
I've seen a few people that voted twice. So, yeah.
Oh, cheating everywhere.
No rules.
This shows how difficult it is to compete in the mobile market sometimes. But nevertheless, I have good news for all of you, including for our lovely panelists. I'm not doing the counting today. Given my mathematical skills shown yesterday, I've been told I'm not allowed anymore. Instead, I will be presented with the results magically in any seconds. Well, well done on all of your performances. Can I ask, who of you have played the jury before? Oh, I've got two of them. You see, because yesterday I was trying to be nice to the newbie, and turned out that the newbie won. I mean, just be careful, you know. Some of us, you know, practice does count, but you never know. How are we doing with the calculations? Oh, see, we're almost... Actually, we got an entire chain of people, thanks to that are working behind it. It's like 4 or 5 people working on that. And it's coming. No problem, but we're doing it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we got results, which I have to write down officially in the official paper. Okay, we start with Carlos, 18 point. Oh, Carlos, that could be good. Maybe not, who knows? But then we go Uku, 18 points. And then we go with David, 27 points. Ooh. Hello. Catherine. Sorry, I wrote the wrong thing here. So beautiful. Catherine, 36 points. Well done. We have a winner for first round, and it's Catherine. Well, time flies. We need to go straight into the next question, which is, will RCS ever truly dethrone and replace SMS? Ooh, one of the other. So now, time for me to take one of these and tell you who's answering the next question, and I'm preparing my... Yeah. So now, who has to prepare? It's David again. You do it on purpose. It's you all the time. Okay. Anyway, so get yourself ready, because in 3, 2, 1, you go.
Not until something happens. At the moment, RCS will dethrone SMS on Android. Will. All we've heard from mobile networks over the last 2 days, the effort they're putting in, the collaboration they're putting in, the use cases that they're opening up, the things that they will permit on messaging and that they're providing to their clients, and all of that investment. And as a 5G network rolls out, you know, the specification says it will. And for Android, that's absolutely true. And then there's this big, glaring, fruit-based competitor, and it's, will they ever adopt it? I've been asked that question probably 8 or 9 times today alone. So when you start talking about RCS, that's the question that comes up. And I don't have an answer. I don't have any direct links and to know what they're doing. But what I think has real potential, Apple will do something in their ecosystem that will mean A to P has a viable multiple OS solution. Now that might be them opening up routes to target based on Misden to their devices. And then that gives us a complete solution. It gives every business a complete solution. So does RCS then have to be completely ubiquitous? Maybe not. For me as a consumer, the thing they have to do is they have to make it possible for me to talk on my iPhone to my wife on Android and use all of those features that are compatible. And if it has to be a violent pink message or a purple message, no, I'm talking to an Android, rather than a blue, I'm talking to an iPhone. That's great. And that raises it in my consciousness, in her consciousness, so that we know that we've made a choice on our devices, we've made our choice on OS, we've done that for different reasons, and it hasn't cost us in terms of the conversation we can have with each other. And for businesses, that will open it up. So will it ever truly dethrone SMS? Depends very much what Apple do. And that should take me to 2 minutes now.
Well, perfect timing. Well done. It was 2 minutes exactly then. So who's next to get ready in there? Because I got Catherine. Is that again? Catherine, there you go. And you start now. Go.
So my answer to this is probably in the short term, no, because I think that for communication, SMS will remain relevant, and for conversation or conversational commerce, we can bring RCS into for those challenges. For things like one-time passwords and just comms that need to get to a customer quickly and with ubiquity, I think SMS is going to be hard to beat for the next 3 to 4 years, and it will still remain a really, really key tool for brands to communicate with their customers. But when it comes to the conversational commerce side of things, and all of the features, I don't have to tell anyone here, that RCS has, which are very much app-like, and you can interact and personalize your conversations with customers, I think that RBM will take over in that regard. And I think that I sort of disagree with David in that it all lands on Apple's shoulders, because I think we need to look at what we can actually achieve. And I think we're up 25% this year in RCS monthly active users in the UK, and that's going to just keep growing and growing. We could be up at 50% by the end of the year, and that is so many eyeballs in any sort of campaign. And we've seen in the pandemic that personalisation and brand loyalty are becoming more and more important, and RCS can provide what an app for a big brand. For an app, a brand probably gets about 25% coverage from even their most loyal customers, and RCS is probably going to overtake that quite soon. So it will provide a really, really important digital marketing paradigm for brands. If you even look at, and that's why we need to move this conversation away from reach and Apple, I think, to say, hey, you've got something here that's going to cost you very little to start up, that's going to get you, maybe by the end of 2022, half the people in the country looking at your campaign on a channel that gets really high open rates. And you look at what they're spending money on now, banner ads, they're wasting their money, Twitter campaigns, they're wasting their money, apps, app fatigue, their customers are deleting their apps quite quickly, and RBM can come in and take this space.
2 minutes gone. But thank you. No, sorry, I started the other one by mistake. But thanks, Catherine. And you see, you didn't know, but 2 minutes seem very big, but there we go. The next one will be Carlos. Carlos, you go at 3, 2, 1, now.
Not in the next 5 years at least. And why? I remember myself being in these kind of forums 6, 7 years ago, and we were discussing with mobile operators, and the consensus at that moment was already it's too complex and it's too late, maybe for consumers. But now I hear today and yesterday the same words. It's still too complex. It might not be too late for RBM or a business, and this is where I see the opportunity on RCS. But definitely, I think I also believe that we should move out the conversation to another room, which is brands and content. I don't really think that it's because of the Apple. I don't think operators should be driving this initiative. I think it should move to somewhere else. It should be more into the brands and content providers that can really engage with customers, but also with businesses. Because if not, we will still be here discussing about awareness. The customer doesn't know what it is. It needs identity, right? Yes or no. It's Android, it's Apple, it's not. So if we move into that arena, there are higher chances that the RCS will grow faster, but definitely will not dethrone SMS, at least in the next 5 years. So as long as RCS becomes frictionless for brands, frictionless for the businesses, but also for the end consumers and customers, then at some point in time, RCS will accelerate its growth and it will compete with other channels, including the SMS. And I think that's it for the 2 minutes. Thank you.
And now it is exactly 2 minutes. Well done, well done. Okay, it's going off. And now that means there is one left, which I will now reveal. It's Uku. Yes, correct. Uku, you can go. 3, 2, 1.
So one of the main questions that I immediately got was dethrone as what? As like an overall communication channel for everything, or just dethrone in certain aspects like the conversational commerce aspect that Catherine brought out? Because right now it feels like SMS is sort of like a basic need. It's like the bottom rung of Maslow's pyramid, right? It's the forever fallback that you revert to if RCS doesn't work or WhatsApp doesn't work or something else doesn't work. It's the forever fallback. And the question is, can anything dethrone the one thing that kind of works when everything else might fail or everything else might be too difficult? Can it dethrone that? But the question is, why would it have to dethrone that when it has its own niche and its own values and its own things that are much more in terms of creating an experience rather than just being the one thing that kind of always works, right? Cars didn't get rid of bicycles, we still have them. There's still a use for them. There's still a place in the ecosystem for messaging as well. But I do like the idea that a lot of different timelines have been thrown out. I think Rajdeep said 3 years. Carlos says 5 years. I think Mobile Square says in 5 years it'll start plateauing and then start teetering. So a lot of different projections, and at the same time what was said also was that 1 year of the pandemic forward the digitalization by 7 years. And yet it's still here. SMS is still here. It's still not dead. It's still not going anywhere. So what all of this highlights for me is the idea that seeing forward is incredibly hard. Seeing anywhere forward from this year or the next 6 months is incredibly difficult to do. So I think the one thing that always pops into my mind in these types of situations is that if we have to talk about it, if we have to discuss it, whether or not it will happen or won't happen, it's still too fresh, too ununderstanding to give a real answer. But the point that it's truly dead, we'll know. We'll just know.
And that's it. We'll finish on that. Well, so that means we start with 60 seconds countdown instead for you out there to vote. Incredibly insightful. No matter how much I try to make these as a bit of a silly game, they are answering the real questions very well. So well done to all of you. So here in the room, time also for you to vote. Remember, this is your chances to express your liking for the candidate as well as the answer. So here we go. It starts again, I would say, from Catherine. If you want to vote for Catherine, you do it now. We can see you. Yes, here we go. And after that, we have Uku. Vote for Uku now. There we go. And then we do have DCB. Time to vote for DCB. There we go. I saw a couple of hands moving, but you're not sure. But DCB. And then we'll go next to Carlos. Carlos for president. Yes, you're voting. Yes, you got there. Great, thank you. And thanks to all of you, and thanks for the good questions. It actually will be nice to replay them back without all the pressure that I'm giving you right now. But in about 13 seconds, we're going to close down and we're going to share with you the results. But as we're doing that, there is an entire machinery. I'm sure that we're not going to have a recounting later, unless maybe the U.S. Supreme Court might be involved. But it's all happening in the background. Just some important information for you to know that the previous prize we've delivered, the cookies, it was 2 cookies, to Carlos, has now been split into 2 prizes. And as per suggestion of Carlos himself. Carlos says, actually, it was Jenny Whelan, that couldn't be here today for the reason we know of the COVID and so on, that has put a lot of the work and made it so much easier and fun. So, Jenny, we did miss you, and thanks very much for all the help you're doing from home. So we go, 2 cookies, 1 each, still covered, everything fine. No more budget, that's it. Oh, we have the results. So I need to write this down as well. And I look at the look of fear in these 3 of them. So we start with Carlos, 23. It's improving. David, where are you? 34.
Ooh. Thank you to everyone at home.
Uku, 25. And Catherine, 43. I don't want to, should I do some earlier stuff? I think we have a bit of a lead for one of our candidates. I shall not reveal who. But everything is still possible. Remember, we've seen it happen last time. This is a very open competition. Everything could happen. And we're going to move on. Now, get ready for your next and last questions before we also break up for some drinks and frivolities. Some of them might have already started. So, for the third question, can you show me, or I'll show on the screen? If not, I will read out from here. Yes, perfect. What are the key factors shaping how enterprises need to approach customer service today? Enterprises looking at customer services today. Got your names here. It's proper. Here we go. Oh, thank God it's not ECB again, because otherwise I was. But it's Catherine. Catherine, you start and wait because I still need to put the timer, and I've forgotten about that. Yes, I'm a professional. There we go. 3, 2, 1. You start.
Okay, well, so when I saw this question, I thought about myself, and which I often do. No, it was like I just thought about how I approach interacting with brands and customer communications, and I think it's sort of threefold: ease of use, personalization, and strong brand loyalty. And I think this is something that RBM conversations can really provide. Customers have become a lot more tech savvy in the last couple of years. In 2019, I read a study by Harvard Business Review that said if you have a bad negative conversation with a brand, 51% of customers won't ever return to that brand. And I've been like that when it's been really difficult. There's nothing worse for me as a millennial than having to call someone and talk to them about an order. It's like being tortured. So I think things like if I was able to communicate with, I don't know, the likes of Zara, like I mentioned before, they would send me a message saying your order is going to be now, would you like to change it? You can use suggested replies, you can use videos, you can see products that you might want to uplift from. They know what my RBM has the features that can provide targeted brand campaigns and personalized campaigns to make it more relevant to what I might want as a customer. That is definitely something that I would want to use when I'm communicating with the brands that I love in terms of fashion or beauty or just food shopping. And yeah, I think personalization is going to be key, and that's something we're looking at in BT with our messaging products. There is also making sure that you don't annoy customers with too much communication, because I know that conversations need to be timely, and you need to meet a customer where they want to be met in terms of a brand paradigm that they're used to. And where am I on the timing, Dario?
You can stop any time. It's got 5 seconds.
That was when I least. But waffly one, and also my old boss walked in just that minute and distracted me. So.
I'm sure that was organized by your competition. You know, tricks happens all the time. Here we go. There we go. And then next, so we are on a roll. Uku, you are next. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, so two of the main themes that I think have been discussed moreover than anything else is ease of access and speed. Ease of access, are you where your clients are? Are you providing them communication in the form that they want it to be provided to them? You know, and speed, is it provided in a timely manner? Can they reach you all the time? Will you answer quickly? I want it now. I don't want to wait a week to get something registered. I don't want to wait 3 weeks to get something rolled out. I want it now. I want to, I wanted to communicate to my clients yesterday, not, tomorrow. So how do you do that? But I think one of the things that has been maybe discussed a little bit less is the idea of clarity. There's an immense prevalence of noise. We get bombarded with information from everywhere, and it's even for us as well in this room, there's a lot of jargon, a lot of acronyms, a lot of jargon, a lot of industry-related lingo that we use day in and day out, and we also tend to, from time to time, use it with our customers, and they just don't understand what's going on. So clarity becomes one of the most important aspects of customer service. Can you tell them what this thing does and how it helps you as simply as possible? You know, can Bill in the auto garage understand what RCS is and what it does for them without using 6 acronyms? Can you make it easy for them to understand? Can you make it easy for them to really engage with you in a manner where a sentence tells them more than an immense one-pager, you know, that your marketing team came up with can ever do? You know, can you build those personal relationships on clarity? So, you know, what we really need to do is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what really works the best for me. Keep it simple, make sure that it's clear, and that by far, for me, is the most important part of creating a good customer experience, because that's what I want as well. Clear, simple, good answers.
And that's a 2 minutes answer as well. So well done. Oh, 2 more to go. We are towards the end, and the pressure is obviously still very high. And Carlos from Enable, it's you going in 3, 2, 1.
Just want you to listen this. I'm Carlos, but I want to share my customer service digital profile. And I hope some brands are watching us now, because I hope they will listen who I am and what are my preferences. So I'm a digital native user. I use an Android phone. I like to use my tablet. Also, I like to use my laptop. I like really to be contacted, preferably by digital channels. I am a Meta user, and I don't really use voice channels and SMS. So I hope this is recorded, because basically this is one of the issues that are happening today in the consumer industry, retail industry, but also between B2Bs. So what are these factors? What is this telling us? Basically that the customer understanding is super important today to offer very high customer experience, let's say, to offer them really clarity of what the customer needs. If brands and businesses can listen to their customers and they can understand that they are not only profiting from us of customers and buyers, but also they are engaging with us, then of course the communication channels will really improve a lot. Another question is, can we have a conversation with our brands, but a true conversation, not an exchange with a chatbot that doesn't know me as a customer? Service is about meeting customer needs. It's knowing the identity of your customer. So identity management is key for enterprises today to deliver a better customer service.
And that's all. That's your 2 minutes. Harsh as we always are, and time to move to the last of the voting sessions. So warm up your hands, get ready for your fingers. Here we go. If you're on the social platform looking at home, it is time to press.
That's right. Am I going to win then?
Oh no.
Can I just have an automatic vote?
Okay, I think James Williams,
Actually,
I know, he is not going to allow me to do this anymore. Don't vote.
You know that Dave hasn't got.
You know,
I
I'm
know,
protesting for a reason.
I can actually see
I don't actually
here.
want it, it's fine.
I can actually see here. I just
Oh,
said
look,
I,
last thing, the one time I
I'm
don't
gonna
go
be
first,
fired.
I
You
get
seem to enjoy these. I just lost every. This is
Champions
my
game.
last jury forever. It does say David. Oh, David.
When does James come back? Sorry. It's harsh.
Oh, for your 1 minute and a half, starting now.
So, what should shape the way an enterprise approaches customer service? For me, that doesn't change ever. It's what your customer wants and what your customer needs. To deliver the best customer service for any business, you have to be able to do what your customer needs. Not necessarily what they want, but what they need, when they want it, how they want it. The thing that makes it change and the thing that makes it complicated and the things that businesses are having to consider now is because there's just so many more ways to do it. And everything that's changed over the pandemic was already accelerating. You know, we live in a digital world. The number of ways, the expectations that we have for being able to contact not just people, be able to contact businesses, explodes. You know, created my entire job. I get to go and talk about all these new channels, and they're fabulous, fabulous things. They've all got wonderful use cases, but the key for a business to deliver the best customer service is to know their customer and be there when they need them. So be where they are. You know, and yeah, in some circumstances, that's going to mean deliver it over every channel, over 24 hours a day, always have fully automated answers. But actually, the thing is to remember who your customer is and be able to deliver for the moment that they want. So the thing that always struck me is, I'm not going to name the utility provider that my grandmother uses, but she finds them atrocious. She won't move every time I recommend, but she still won't, you know, she finds them bad. But essentially her hearing has declined over the last 10 years, getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And every year she comes around to renew her bill, and every year she's tried chat, she's tried text, and every year they go, oh, the best offers, please call. And they can't. And every year I've rung up, struggled to get her onto speaker, to give the permission for me to talk to them. That's what businesses need to change. They need to listen to their customers, be where they are, and get them what they need when they want. 2 minutes. Now you can go to the vote.
There it is. Stopping it now. Before I go any further, any more candidates that would like to speak? No, we covered it all. We've done it all, and we've got 60 seconds to finalize the voting. So, starting with Carlos from the very far hand this time. If you like Carlos' answer, please raise your hand in here, and if you are home, you just press the button. Carlos, this doesn't look very good in here. We'll find. You go 1 point. It's. Oh my God! There you go. And then next. Well, I don't know if I should do it or not. Yeah, well, we'll do David as well still. Poor guy. And please vote a bit more because I forgot about him. Otherwise, yes. Yeah, no? Sorry. Now, Uku is looking at me like, what have you done? Please. Vote for Uku as well because I asked David as well. No. Everybody, no. Okay. Uku, we need some PR happening here.
Yeah,
Next, in the drinks, remember to talk to this guy. And for 4, we got Catherine. Vote for Catherine if you want now. There we go. And you still have 10 seconds at home to finish it up and talk about it. And you might not see everything that happens in here if you are home, but I did tell you this is a bit like Eurovision Song Contest for telecom, really. It's very intense, it's very competitive. Can be a bit silly because of me, but lovely, and thank you very much for giving your answers. I hope you enjoyed it a bit and enjoyed the fun around it. It's time to calculate the votes and then to share it back with you. And then finally, our human spreadsheet. Yeah, still me, I think. You're making them some. You're telling me the final results? No, okay. So we might wait for a bit. So, talking to the newbies, how was it? How was it for your first time? Carlos?
Learning curve. First time I was exceeding the 2 minutes. So then I said, okay, now we do stopwatch.
DCB, have you ever experienced somebody not asking you a question before?
I choose not to incriminate myself.
Okay.
It's the first time you've ever forgotten me, so I shall remember this moment.
Yes.
Next time.
And take it personal. Oh, okay. Here we go. Uku, how was it?
I need to go on a hiring spree to get those in-house votes in.
Change the time zone that we're pitching.
Yeah,
so my American colleagues can vote as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, everyone in my company is all offline already.
No, that's very bad because it's too late.
The audience, you've stacked your little pod over there.
Hold on a minute, there's 3 people down there.
3 times more than I got.
Organic votes, organic votes.
Okay, and okay, we'll look at that.
Point out, he didn't vote for me in one, and he works with me. Fair enough. I should remember that, London. Next time you need a favour.
At least he's honest.
Yeah, true.
Results for these sessions, or should I just tell everybody the final results? I will just mention who won this session, okay? And coming back at me, David with 56 points. You won. Well done.
Oh, tell that.
So we have a results. In the interest of time and for the incredible suspense on the question of who has really won, I will tell you that now. From then, let me double check. Oh yes, I don't understand how that. There you go. From the lowest point, we have Carlos, 51 points. Well, congratulations, Carlos. As always, say last but never least. And then with 77 points is Uku. Thanks, Uku. This is where things get a bit more complicated. Because it could have been.
Not that close.
Do you ever get a tiebreaker round?
Well, I don't know, but there has been a surge of votes. So here we go with a surge of votes. We got Catherine with 99 points. Ooh. Catherine, well done in second position, but you were in the lead until the very end. And for some reason, I think somebody was trying to get back at me. And my obviously well-planned attempt to sabotage is... well done to DCP, to David for being number one with 117 points. Oh, you well done. Now, obviously, I need to do a couple of things first. Thank you again, and thanks for taking it so lightly. But we do have real prizes and the pictures. I'm sure there's going to be big newspapers somewhere else. Here we go. Ooh. To you, lots of biscuits.
Oh,
enjoy
wow.
and have fun. Online, you can hear me again, so I just have to say very few things, and don't leave yet, because it would be unfair to go without saying a big thank you to everybody that has made this possible, including, and I'm really serious, our supporters, our sponsors are many, but from Mavenir, Adaptive Mobile, Cheetah Digital, Infobip, Intis Telecom, Messaging Map IQ, Root Mobile, Cineverse, Vox Carrier, XConnect, Cinch and Summit. We haven't forgotten that you made this possible. Thanks very much. But there are many people who make this possible, and it might seem all fun, etc. But actually, we have great support from the BMA, fantastic location. I really enjoyed it, and they give us a great support. Up to the level of the AV team over there at the back, we have something for you as well, because you've done well above everything else. Well done, I would just say, to you all guys, which is Stephen Rogers over there. But well done. As you might see her maybe in the back, Susan is organizing everything here, and she's been great. I think you can all agree with me. Great. Well done to... James Williams is not here, but has been the brain behind so much of what's happened today. So well done to James as well, and many more. I should not try to remember all of them. But Sam, Alex, Mina, Tim, obviously, what you've seen there, Eva, and then from Brazil as well on our AV center, Carol, Guilherme, and then we could go on. So these are the MEF team. We are a very small team, but we seem to help and creating fantastic things like this last event. I say this, but I've heard it from so many of you. It was great to see you face to face, and still to see many of you online. It's a great experience to do all of this. I'm not going to continue much longer because it's way too late. I'm just going to tell you something very simple. After the feedback that I've heard, obviously we're going to see your Mobile World Congress, where we're going to have lots of events already planned. We presented to our AGM. So come and see us on the 2 nights, maybe 3 nights, of events we've planned. And even something else to everybody here. You voted for these. Would you like us to do another one of these events next year, at least? You're not very convinced, yes or no? No? We got one yes. Okay, well, a couple of nodding here. Back on that, we'll think of it. I think we're going to do it. There's a lot of interest in meeting, and it's great. It's great to see your faces. It's great. If we couldn't see you online, please say hello. And now we'll stop the online 2 days of MEF Omnichannel. We're going to start a bit of drinking of mulled wine and the fizz to raise the glass and say thanks to all of you that participated, that joined, that commented, that made questions. That's what really makes this event special. Thank you. Bye-bye.